this to record. So whatever you say and do on this Zoom call is now being recorded. But before I start, I would like to say hello to Christina. Hi, welcome.
Thank you. I had trouble getting in.
You're not alone there. It was a bung link, so I had to reset it. So yeah. So thanks for
once.
Yeah. And yeah, cool, awesome. And Ursula, thanks for joining us as well. You're probably just in listening mode, so but feel free to jump in if you have any questions or anything. So, all right, so let's do. Let me go back to this. So, okay, so there's a really important piece of news that's coming out pretty soon. That this popped up in WP Tavern in the email. You know, the auto email that you get if you subscribe to this website. You probably may have already seen this, but this is going to be a big one. So as the title here says, upcoming API change will break Facebook and Instagram embed links across the web beginning October 24th. So what does this mean? So, you know, those good old, when you copy a link to, say, a post, and then you copy that onto your website, and then it creates kind of like a snippet of that post, and then people can, you know, click on that, and then it takes them to the post on Facebook or Instagram or wherever the link comes from. Does everybody know what I'm talking about in that regards? So do you want me to demonstrate it? So I had this opened because there's a method to my madness. Let me just go and create a container. Oh no, that's not. I want a row. I'm using a different plugin, and we'll do that. And all right, so so you know, like the block, say for YouTube, and then you just simply go and grab a YouTube link. So let's go to. It's always fun bringing up your YouTube channel, because then people can get to see what you've what you've been watching. All right, so then you just you copy and paste that YouTube link in, and then you embed. So that's an O embed, right? So then that pulls in the content.
Okay.
There's also a block for I think Instagram. And then again, you would just go get the link to the specific Instagram post, and then you would copy it into there as an O embed. So what this post means is that this will no longer work unless you go. What you now have to do is you have to create a developer account on Facebook, and you have to create an API token for this all to work, just for Facebook and Instagram. But if you've got legacy embed content on your website, then the change that will come in after October 24th is that it will break all those embed links across your site. So if you've got thousands of posts that you've shared, you know, posts from Facebook and Instagram, then they all break, and then you have to go through the whole rigmarole process of creating a developer account, and
oh my god!
And that the whole point of this whole thing, like embed, was to create an open web. So then, so as you can see here in at the beginning of this, in an extraordinarily convenient API change. So it'll be dropping unauthenticated embed support. So yeah, it's a big one. This is a big deal. So yeah,
So
so if
that
you
means that if I wanted to, so it's not just other people's YouTube stuff. I could have put stuff on my YouTube account as a way of storing it to use on my website, for example, and that will be affected as well.
So just note that this is only for Facebook and Instagram. YouTube and all the other points will work. Like it's just affecting Facebook and Instagram. So like if you go to, I'll bring up my Facebook and
You use
I'll
YouTube as an example, but it's not YouTube.
go to my, just trying to figure out, it's a bit slow to do. How do I see this as a post in, oh boy, embed.
Oh, okay.
Get the URL of that, and I'll see if I can just go and
Facebook post that he's looking.
Facebook. Oh, there is a Facebook block.
Yeah.
So yeah, then I can embed that, and okay, so it can't be previewed in the editor, but I think if I update the page and preview.
So it's linking something from Facebook into WordPress, not the other way around.
Yes.
Yeah, so see how I've done that and it's showing up there. So this function just for Facebook and Instagram is going to break. So if, yeah, like, so if you've got a whole bunch of these like that you've copied onto your website as an OEmbed, OEmbed content, then it will, yeah, it's going to break on after the 24th of October. So, but just for Facebook and Instagram, everything else works. YouTube, all that. Don't freak out about that. Until until YouTube decides to do the same. I don't think they will.
What's their point? What are they trying to do? Just
control the world. I don't know. No, I don't.
So it's a Facebook thing, really. Is it their decision? Their choice, yeah.
It's basically they want a more. It's here in a pursuit of a more secure walled garden.
All right.
So Facebook will now require all publishers to obtain developer app credentials in order to embed content that was previously available through simple URLs, which is what I just showed you.
Yeah. Right.
So there is a, of course, the community has responded.
The plugin.
And
yeah, there'll be a plugin for that.
Yep.
Well, there is somebody that's already created that. That's
OEmbed Plus.
OEmbed Plus. Not sure if you have to pay for. No, I don't think you do. But yeah, this is where you can go and then put your app ID and app secrets and stuff in. So, but yeah, it's literally the community has spoken. Somebody has already solved the problem. So yeah, so this is the solution to it. So
okay, well, it's great to know, but thankfully it doesn't affect me because what I do is the opposite, really. I put links from my website into Facebook, not the other way around.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people like to just put their content within their website, so then it's more open and you might even attract more attention that way as well through your site
what does it
visitors.
take to become a developer to get API credentials?
You just need to sign up for the Facebook developer. It's all free. Like you just go in and you log in with your own username and all that sort of stuff. I think it's just like developer.facebook.com. I don't know if that's true. It might.
So it's not an arduous process.
Well, if you're not used to it, then yeah, it will be from the beginning. But it's not too hard. It's just, yeah. And then you go up the top here, you log in, and then you log in with your Facebook credentials, and then I've not logged into this browser with Facebook, so that's why I'm getting asked to log in. And then you just go and create an app application when this decides to load.
So if you wanted to embed your Instagram or Facebook feed into your website, would this apply then? You know how you can have it on the bottom of or the side bar of your website?
Yeah.
Yes, would
I
apply.
think like for the feeds and stuff, like if you've got like an Instagram feed, I think you currently already have to like create an API connection between the website and the account. So if you want to get an Instagram feed to come in, but if you're just going to Instagram and then copying a link of a post and then bringing that and just dropping and then copying that into, pasting that into a block into the page, then that's no longer going to work. You're going to need this plugin to fix that. So
just for one post, not a Facebook or Instagram feed.
Correct, because like currently with the feeds, you have to go and set up an app or something anyway for those. So, or if you want like an Instagram feed, you got to like you get a plugin for that, which is the Instagram feed one, and then it asks you to log in through the settings and then connect the site up through an API key anyway. So that's fairly simple anyway. So. But yeah, this only applies to like if you're just copying a link from the web and then pasting it directly on your post or a page on your website.
Yeah.
So, but it could be a massive thing for somebody because it's like they could have thousands of embedded content that they've added. So so I thought that was pretty newsworthy and pretty big. So
yeah, very newsworthy.
And a little bit annoying as well because, the whole point of OEmbed is to open up, have an open AI sort of standard as, as the guy, Lee Culver, who worked on the OEmbed functionality, it was created to an open web API standard for fetching embed code based on a URL. So, so now it just adds that little bit extra block to, or that little extra barrier. So then it will probably make people go, well, I just won't share that content on my website because it's too hard. I'll put in the too hard basket, and then which is a shame because, it's kind of like, well, if you want to share your content, it should be easy, right? So, or even share somebody else's content as well. So but now you've got to go through a process. Anyway, that's life, right? Isn't it? Human beings just like to make things more complicated.
Yeah.
So so that's cool. So yeah, go and read the whole article if you want to understand a little bit more about that. And but that's cool. Moving on to the next piece of article. So anybody have a recipe website, doing recipes and showing off your favorite cooking or kitchen?
I have got recipes, but I haven't used a proper recipe card block.
Cool. Well, there's a new one, and it's pretty cool. So I've actually used this recently on a site that I'm building, which I decided not to use, but I'm now sort of thinking I might go back and start using it again. So, but essentially, yeah, it's just a block where it creates a card, and then it's got a whole bunch of different, things that you can put in, like all the things that you would expect in a recipe card.
So the nutritional value and all that. It's got all that.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't. Like it's got ingredients, method, and all the serving time, prep time, cooking time, all that stuff, and how
Is it
easy.
a thing where they can just click on it and print the recipe out?
Printer-friendly one.
Yeah.
Yep. So as
I
it
can't
says here,
see the name of the
there's a
phone, so-
print. There's a
Oh,
print
cool.
button, and there's
What's the name of that? Just recipe card block, is it? Or
yeah. It's well, let's just go to the plugin, shall we? And well, that didn't really work. Let me just click on that one. So there's another article that explains it as well. So which is pretty neat. But yeah, this is it here. Recipe card blocks by WP Zoom.
I can see a use for that.
So of course there is a pro version, so you're kind of limited to and it does put like a water, like a an attribution link at the bottom of the card, like with WP Zoom, like linking to the plugin page. So
How prominent is it?
it's not that prominent, but it's there. So the other cool thing is it's got markup, got schema markup as well in it. So that's the important component too. So and then you got the pro features as well. So you can change a few other things. Credit removal. That's the
yes,
the thing there.
The biggie.
What is what is the schema markup? I don't know what that is.
no, I don't either.
So schema markup is essentially it tells Google, like search engines, or specifically, let's just talk Google because that's pretty much the king of search. So it tells Google that content is rich content. So let's just go to Google, for example, and I'll type in I don't know, lasagna recipe. And essentially these up the top here are kind of rich snippets, or like, I don't know if this is actually a good example. Let me see if I can find something that's relevant. Unless this is it. Unless that's the
Just
so yeah,
the cheese.
I guess it probably would be these. So it creates these are called rich snippets for what Google outputs, and so yeah, the schema markup is really important because it tells Google that content is a recipe card. It's got all the components of what a recipe card would look like, and what the information in it. So then when Google crawls the recipe, it will then go, okay, we'll draw down all that information, and we could and create something like this, like a rich snippet. So it just makes it more exciting to look at, rather than just a boring search like result like this one here, for example.
It's kind of just like a format that Google likes to see. So for example, you could have a book review schema. So it would come up in a standard format that Google would present it in. So when you're doing your website, for example, or if you're using Rank Math, it has what schemas you're using. Even the format of a blog can be in schema format, can't it, Paul? Yeah. So it's just a format.
Yeah. Yes, correct. Like if you type in how
search.
I mean, even in a sense, these here, like these questions here, like people ask, that's a form of rich snippet.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you've got like an FAQ on your website, and Google really likes that FAQ, and it will you know, it will index it to appear like this. So it makes it a little bit more easier for people to see and read. And there's other types of rich image. Let me just try and find.
Even a list of stuff, isn't it?
Like top 10
Yeah.
things to do in Brisbane. Let's see if this one brings up
And what you're doing is making it easier for Google to put you at the top because it's in that nice format.
Mm.
See, there's one there, the top sites in Brisbane.
Yeah, true. I was just trying to top 10 ways to bake a cake. I want to get the one that comes up with the best Gutenberg blocks plugins. Why isn't it working for me? Hang on.
It's a recipe world, Paul.
Oh, come on. Why is this not working?
Maybe you're supposed to put in gluten-free world.
Top 10 gluten-free. Top 10 blocks plugin WordPress. It usually comes up with a card and it has like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's I don't know. It's just not playing with me today for some reason. That's weird.
If you write your content with a very clear list, that's an indication to Google that they can put it in that format and they will rate it higher quite often than just stock standard stuff. Mind you, when people see that, they don't need to click on your site because they've already read it all on the list.
True. Is there a list plugin?
Well, there's a list. What do you mean? Like there's list
in
blocks.
blocks. There's a list block.
There's a list block, yeah. Like that's,
okay.
Yeah, that's just the standard thing that comes, yeah.
Because I haven't happened upon it.
I mean, you've got the bullet point list, and like the bullet point. Yeah. Is that what you mean by like a list of? So you can change it from bullet point to like numbers.
Yeah, well, I just had a list of things,
unordered.
And it just kept putting it in like a line and a big space, a line and a big space, and I didn't want it like that. I wanted it all compressed as one, rather than it's got they're all in individual blocks. And I just didn't even think about looking for a list block. So I'll go and change it.
Yeah, there's definitely a list block.
You start off with a paragraph and you go up to the left-hand side to change block style.
Yeah.
You can change it to the list there. And if you use it over and over again, that'll be one of your top things that comes up.
Yeah, I know how to change it. I just didn't know it existed.
Yeah, I think that's the standard list block. Yeah. So you just go to block, type in list, and you'll see these ones here are created by a plugin. So these ones you can
see.
Oh, you can't see?
Oh yeah, I can, but unless I've got that particular plugin, I wouldn't be able to see the others. So it's just the standard list block.
Yeah, which I think is this one here. That's just your standard. And then you can change it to unordered lists, ordered list. And then type.
Oh, that's what I want. I've just got a little section I want to change then.
Yeah. So that's how you skin that rabbit. Okay, cool. So that's all fun. So I'm going to move on. So check out the recipe blocks. Then there's a new. So ever since the Astra theme was punished recently, and then that affected a lot of people and not being able to sort of update the plugin and all this sort of stuff. So WordPress now has added in the repo, the plugin, the theme repository on WordPress.org. They've now got a delist status. So what that does is it basically kind of removes it from the search. So it just removes the particular item from the search, but it doesn't remove it from the index of the it doesn't remove it from the catalog, so to speak. So people who have got that plugin running or theme, then, or that theme specific, I don't think they've added this feature to plugins yet, but yeah, if a theme gets suspended for some reason, then users of that theme will still be able to get updates and everything for it. So that's a good thing. So yeah.
Okay.
So you just might not be able to see the theme, but it'll still be there. And if you're using it, then you'll still be able to get updates, because that's what what happened with Astra, because it got suspended, and then everybody's like, and that's on like over 1 million sites or more. And then people were like, oh, well, what if I need to update this theme? What if we need to update it? We can't, because we can't connect to the theme on WordPress on the repo. So that's why they brought in this new feature, which delists. But this is more to do with theme developers, and if you're a theme developer, this is important to know. But I guess it's also important to know as a user, because if your theme that you're using just suddenly disappears from search, then you know why. And then,
I'm sorry, my son's website's got Astra on it. What happened with it?
So it essentially broke the terms of the theme repo. So apparently it was doing some not intentional sort of backlinking to paid resources or advertising paid resources. It's essentially, yeah, and that was within the theme. So they didn't kind of break the terms, but yeah, they didn't do it intentionally, but it was just they broke the guidelines. So WordPress just was like, all right, you're suspended, and then it was a big sort of hoo-ha about it, because it's a really popular theme. So but it's back on again. Like, don't stress, they've fixed it. They've done what they needed to do to get the theme back on. So, but it just caused a bit of a row in the community, and people were just like freaking out and stuff like that. So so in response, they created this delist function, which should fix those issues that they had with when they suspended Astra. So cool. All right, well, that was pretty much all the WordPress news I had. I did want to just point to you in a direction. If you're a SpaceX fan, this is completely off left of field. Not even so yeah, if you want to be an astronaut for SpaceX, then you can come to isssim.spacex.com, and you can actually you can dock to the ISS.
So you can test your skills.
Exactly. So you can, so you essentially need to, yes, you need to dock successfully with the ISS. And so, yeah. And if you can, then you become an astronaut for SpaceX, and
right.
They send you up a month later to do the very actual thing that you're doing on the in the browser. So
yeah, no, Frank's right onto that.
Oh, good. So you've done this. You've successfully docked with.
But I've got it written down for him here.
Oh yeah, no, it's really cool. Okay. Yeah.
That should be easy.
Yeah, totally. The idea is you have to get you got to get like everything in the green. So all these like roll, pitch, and your in alignment, and I think it's got to be less than 0.2 across the board. And yeah, it's not easy. There are keyboard. You can do this with the keyboard. So the W is gives you your, I guess your yaw. Yeah, your yaw. So it just sort of moves the whole craft. And then you've got the arrow keys on your keyboard that control the pitch. And then you've got, well, I guess yours, yeah, left and right. So the WA and ASD keys, they just, I guess, the thrust. But if you want to go forward and backwards, it's E and Q. So E to go forward and and Q to slow down. So yeah, it's pretty fun. So it's not easy. So you might have to practice a few times to get it. I keep crashing the station and blowing it up, and
It's not a cheap exercise.
everyone screams, and no, it just basically you get really close, and then if you haven't docked successfully, it just like takes you all the way back to the start again, and it's like start again. So yeah, but this is actually what the astronauts use. This is like the actual technology, and this is what the HUD looks like and everything. Apparently, it's just it's simulating the whole experience of what the astronauts are doing. I don't know why you wouldn't just turn on autopilot or auto dock and just let a computer do it. I mean, why?
Same reason we don't use driverless cars, because we're too scared.
Well, people
We do like control.
People are using the driverless car feature of their cars, so it's but yeah, it's just got to come to mass adoption, and it will. Did you know airplanes can like literally fly themselves now? Like
land and take off by themselves.
land, take off, everything.
As long as you've got the ILS landing systems in place, you're right.
Yeah, but you just put like, I mean, essentially all pilots do now are just like turn knobs and stuff on there when they still do the takeoff and landing roll, but they just, when they're up in the air at altitude, they're just turning knobs and stuff, like selecting heading and like the whole.
I'm always
like,
pretty happy, you know, to have a pilot on there to do an abort if there's someone on the runway, which we've had to do
Several
a couple of times in my life.
oh yeah, sure. But
Yeah.
You can't do an ILS landing in Coolangatta, coming from the north. They haven't got it set up.
no.
In a storm, they have to land it manually.
Yeah. That's I've actually experienced that at Coolangatta, and it was fun.
Yeah, in a thunderstorm.
Had to go around a few times.
Yeah, I've been in a plane that did that too, at Coolangatta.
I also wanted to bring your attention to a plugin that's just trying to find. So everybody knows Mike Hancock. He's one of the members from the WordPress group. Well, he created a plugin which is kind of like a flip book. He was coming in today to say what he said he was going to come in. Well, he RSVP'd on the event today, so I was hoping that he would be here, but because I wanted to sort of give him a bit of a plug on his plugin. What's it called? This might be it. So yeah, he created this really cool, nifty plugin that creates a 3D book experience. So this whole so if you hover over it, it just makes the book 3D, and if you click on flip book, it turns it around the back, and then if you want to look inside, it opens up the book, and then you put your name and email, and so yeah, it's pretty cool. So he did it for, originally he developed this for Dr. Libby. Dr. Libby, where is his thing down below? He did put up a link to it, I think. This is our Slack channel that you're seeing. I can't find it. Dr. Libby. Okay, let's. I actually haven't seen this. I don't know what he's doing with the wellness cards. Oh no, it's just. Oh, he's done a book, like a box for it.
Okay.
So yeah, so he's developed this really cool thing.
Yeah, it looks very nice.
It does, yeah. So just wanted to kind of give him a bit of a plug. So you can go and buy a license from his website, unfamo.us.
Nice. Tools, lead book, 3D.
Yeah, and when he launched this, because he didn't have like a really big following or anything. He started getting orders like straight away. So so it's it's pretty nifty. It's pretty neat. So
Excellent.
and you can do all
So
sorts of.
is that a plugin you can get directly from WordPress, or you have to go and get it separately? How does that work?
This is you got to go get it separately from Mike's site, which is this one here. So it's a premium plugin. So he's spent some time developing this, and it looks pretty
Great.
sweet. So
It's really good.
yeah, it is really cool. And all you do, that's just the settings page. So you just put your front and back covers and your spine in, and that's what generates the 3D.
It's brilliant.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty nice if you've got like a book, if you're selling books and stuff on your website. So just kind of brings it alive. And I would imagine, I haven't tried this yet, but yeah, you would put in your name and email, and then it will. I don't know what it looks like, and he hasn't demoed this, but yeah, I'd imagine that you would then be able to see the contents or some example content. And then of course you can collect a database as well at the same time. So, which is pretty neat. I thought it was pretty cool. So Mike's a very clever cookie. So he's always, developing things and always helping as well. So whenever one of us have an issue, he's always got some sort of code or something that he'll just freely give to us and say, here, try this. And yeah, so he's just a really cool, I guess it's like, he's a good example of the community at whole with WordPress. Like it's just, it's very sharing, very open, very, open source, basically. That's the whole point. So, yeah. So yeah, if you know anybody, or if you're interested, yeah, grab one of these books. I was gonna actually hit him up to see if he could get a I don't know, a community special or something to see. I might have a chat to him about it. But yeah, so.
Oh, it looks great. It's worth knowing about.
Yeah, and he can do
That's
boxes,
beautiful.
do the box thing as well, which is pretty nice. So. Yeah, Dr. Libby is one of his clients, so he's doing a lot of stuff, really neat development stuff for her site. So, yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let's do a round of questions now, because I've only got 10 minutes left because I've got to bounce off to another meeting. But let me stop the share, and I got some chat stuff. Ursula, what's the definition of a developer, Paul, in this context? Is it all website owners?
I kind of gathered that it was, after you spoke, that it was basically all website owners. Is it what they consider a developer?
Yeah, like yes. Well, essentially, it's like when it in context to, is it in context with the Facebook thing? The embeds, So it just means that you need to then create a developer account on Facebook, and then create an API and an application and all that stuff, and then you get those application API secret key and all that, and then put that in your site using that plugin and then it should work after that. But it's just, you've just got to go through that process, and if you're not familiar with it, then you essentially have to either hire somebody to get to do that for you, or you just go and figure it out yourself. So it's not that hard. It's just that if you're not familiar with it, then you just have to learn how to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you post a screenshot of your content.
Well, yeah, most people probably even just do that, and then they'll just link it.
Yeah.
Just screenshot the content and link it. Yeah. And then you've got I will be after that, Ursula. You
The
will
recipe
be.
cards, I think.
Yeah, like that was old. It was about
okay,
the
cool.
recipe cards.
I thought it was just
I
some
would be
sort of-
using that.
I thought it was some sort of like philosophical I will be.
No.
Like to be or not to be. It's like something
You will be.
profound. Something very profound, like universal. It's like I will be. It's like I like that. That's cool. All right, excellent. So question away.
I have a question.
Global settings.
Global settings. So
Oh god.
Frank's listening to a video on Elementor, and they're saying that in the settings, in the
Elemental settings.
Elementor
The two tick boxes.
hang on.
Yeah.
Setting two tick boxes which
We
disable the
default colors, disable the default fonts, on or off.
So the tick boxes will turn off.
They say you will inherit the colors from your theme.
Yes.
But
yes.
we
Yes,
want
yes, yes.
to, we're using just the hello theme, so there's basically nothing there. Everything that we
Yeah.
we
So
do.
you'll be. So that won't really apply at all. So
So are we saying then that it doesn't matter whether they're on or off, or whether we should just leave them off? Because this guy is saying they should be on.
Should be checked.
But that doesn't make any sense
Then
to
he,
me.
then he goes on to the theme, so then that would be sensible. But my question is now is that the global settings will override the theme settings.
That's correct, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That is
So,
correct.
To do the global settings, where do we go? Because if I go into a post and hit global on the left-hand side, I don't get any settings coming up there at all as global settings.
So where do you access the global settings?
So let's do this together. I'll share this. Share my screen.
That's anything.
Let's just go into a.
There's nothing down there either.
Let me just go into this page here. Doesn't
Right.
matter. I'll just go into Elementor.
Yep.
Elementor, and all right. So in the top, you go to the hamburger menu at the very top.
Yeah.
Menu,
Yeah,
yep.
and global.
Well, it's I think you.
Go to the other side, you go to the...
Yeah, you got to go into your site settings.
Site settings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've updated this in the latest version, so they've just made this more condensed. So, yeah, go to site settings, and then you've got your global colors.
Right.
You got your global fonts.
Got it.
Got it. Yeah.
So yeah, before it had something else in here. I can't remember, like theme something, and then that opened up another window, like another. It's like it slid out another thing. But yeah, they've just changed it and condensed it to this now, and that's just global fonts.
So you can change those settings from any post or page. That's just an access through to open up that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right. Got it.
That will change everything on all your posts.
Yeah. So you can play with that now.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything on your posts or pages that have been assigned with those global
We'll be able to written.
tags or
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. And then you can rename them from primary to must use.
Yeah. Okay.
Something like that. And you can add colors. I have been hearing people have been having some issues with this, and one of the many bugs since the last major update. So yeah, some people are even just going back to resorting to just using just general before global, which is not good. But yeah,
go step by step.
I've got a lot in the global, but I'm just going to go through now and just check everything and go through all the posts we've got so far and check all those too.
Because there's not a huge number yet. Might as well
yeah.
put it out now, and we'll be back next week with another exciting.
Another list of questions, or
That's it this week. He's gonna.
No, that's it.
Are you serious? There's no more questions from you.
No, how good is he?
We're going pretty well here.
Yeah.
That's
I've
crazy.
discovered Notion. Have you used Notion, Paul? Software?
Notion. That's the
coolest organising software ever.
Isn't that like you can do screenshots and stuff, or things you can put in? Is that what Notion?
Notion.
Where you can Notion, yeah. Like somebody, yeah, one of my clients gave me, like they gave me website feedback, and they sort of put screenshots up and said, like, and then assign those to check boxes, and then we just went through and ticked off.
Thing. Yeah.
So yeah,
it is so cool, so cool. Store your whole life in there. and I was an Evernote. I am an Evernote user, and I've got a lot of stuff in Evernote. But oh my God, this is just so versatile. It's amazing.
It's all just based on pages and pages and pages.
Pages and lists and tables and link tables and
all things go together.
So what was it called?
Notion.
Yeah.
So Notion.
Similar to Evernote.
No. It's separate to Evernote. But it is far superior to Evernote for
in preference to Evernote now.
Taking notes and organising your life.
Because I love Evernote.
I can tell you it's limited these days in terms of what you can do to link things together. Whereas Notion, it is just open slather on
really a good
how you
database.
want to. Yeah.
Everything's on a database basis, so you can search for anything.
Yeah, but you can just link stuff and put it in any format, and it is just the way people are using it is extraordinary.
Sounds good.
Mind blowing. I just put a link to it in the chat.
It's well worth a have. I've just got a free account at this stage, but I probably will upgrade at some time.
Yeah, right.
It's lovely.
That's cool. You should look out for something like if AppSumo will have a deal, like a lifetime deal or something.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Sometimes they or you could even I've even figured out sometimes you can actually just go to Google and put in like Notion LTD. No, I should probably put like lifetime deal or something.
Yeah. Because Google's not that smart, Paul.
I know. And so like in the past, sometimes I've actually gone in and found that yes, you can do it for plugins and stuff like that and themes.
Yeah.
Then if you're trying to look for a lifetime deal rather than having to pay a monthly or a yearly subscription, sometimes it's worth doing that extra search, and then you
because I've got a Divi lifetime thing, which I don't use.
Yeah. We don't say Divi in this forum. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, like AppSumo has a pretty big library of different deals, and so yeah, it's good to look on there for things as well.
I'm just blown away by what it'll do.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
So I was struggling with. I had stuff everywhere, and I couldn't find ways to connect it. And suddenly with Notion, it's like it's all connected.
Is that the one that gives you a chart of
No, that's Obsidian.
Does it?
Yeah.
So it just puts all your life into a digital format.
Yeah.
Connects.
I'm still using Evernote to archive stuff, but this just, on a day-to-day basis is genius. And then I also started using Obsidian for my writing stuff, and it's pretty genius as well. You link, so you start with a topic and you can put other sort of pieces in there and link them, and it will draw you a map of all your links. So over time you can see what you're actually spending time on and how it relates to other things. It's pretty good. So that's what I've been doing for the last week.
Fantastic. Oh, well, thank you for sharing. One thing that I wanted to share with you before I run off. So next Thursday evening. I probably won't be running the free session next to. Will I do it?
That's cool. That's cool.
I don't know. I'll see how my workload is, but yeah. So anyway, next Thursday we've got Tag Manager coming up. So yeah, it's going to be a good one. The guy that I just introduced to made that plugin, the Flipbook one. He's going to be running it, so it's going to be Mike that's going to be educating us on Google Tag Manager, which is I've just got to update this for the information, but yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. So
bring your pizza.
Bring your pair of pizza, and also today at 1 p.m. if you are interested. We've got WooCommerce and webhooks for free by Will Brown through the WordPress Sydney meetup group. So that's on today, and if you want to go along to that, they're always highly, like, Will is a very
good.
He's very good, yeah.
Very good.
He's very good at taking something complex and explaining it in layman's terms.
Yeah.
I think his version of layman is not the same as most of us.
Well, I'm just going off what he did for the CSS thing when he came and spoke at our group. So, but yeah,
I've been sitting in on those too, but not today. I've got to go out. That's everything's worthwhile. You know, you find a snippet of a little bit, tiny bit of something, and it all adds to your knowledge. So
that's right. Sometimes it's just like, oh, so you can do that. So you don't quite understand how to do it, but just knowing that it's doable is a good piece of information to have. Yeah,
exactly, Robin. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, it's just getting, all right, cool. I've got to run, but thanks for joining today. And
okay, thank you.
See you next week.
Thanks, Christina, Ursula. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Paul.
It's really good to have you here. So yeah, come again. I'll see you next.
And hopefully, I don't have to use that GIF again, Paul. Did you like that GIF? The one where the guy disappears under the rock.
I so wish I had a rock in my office that I could do that.
Cool. Bye.
Okay,
bye,
bye.
Roman.
Thanks,
See you, Frank.
everybody.
Bye, Robin.
See you
Bye,
later.
Frank. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, Judy.